Photographic, televisual, and cosmic portals, a spectrum of portal technologies. Photographic and televisual portals. As real as one can get to the idea of a portal, a man-made portal would require at its most basic an exterior cloak to our reality, hosting the virtual, telepresent reality within. A standalone holodeck virtual reality, no matter how advanced, is not enough to qualify as a portal. It must also be cloaked to our reality. And up here is an example of pseudo-dual corresponding photographic portals. And right here is a televisual telepresent portal with the holodeck inside, both types. Invisibility in holodecks. Any invisible object can be turned outside in to create any holodeck environment with the infinite environments outside that it cloaks itself in. But a holodeck can only match up to one definite invisible backdrop environment that its scenery can match up to when turned inside out. A curious asymmetry that I believe requires a multiverse solution. An invisible object can be touched, while a virtual form is intangible. It seems to me that they both require the qualities of the other. That's number 3, televisual portal mirror world topology. There's the outside real world, the inside virtual cloak interface, the real holodeck, the virtual holodeck, transmitting and receiving, recursion, and a cyclic recursion, and the real holodeck back to the virtual holodeck, which feeds back to the virtual holodeck. And inside the invisible cloak is a cycle of mirror world topologies, where it switches from the real world that has both physical and virtual visual display, goes to the cloaking holodeck or cloaking interface that only has virtual, to the real holodeck that has real and virtual or visual, and to the virtual holodeck that has purely virtual, then back to the real holodeck. And this oscillating chain of mirror worlds, I believe, is one of the keys that holds the connection between the invisible and the intangible. Making space disappear. Can you make space vanish? Of course, not just the object resting in it, but the entire space as well. Invisibility doesn't mean non-existence. That would be invisibility's counterpart in the material range. Intangibility. If an invisible object doesn't impede the visual reality, it is part of a two-sided symbiotic homeostasis with that reality. If it was also intangible, it would indeed be non-existence to our reality. So where would a vanished volume of space go if it were to completely disappear in the visual and material sense? Symbiotic homeostasis between realities, invisible and intangible. Beyond normal materials are metamaterials, but beyond these, I believe, are an imaginary material that would be totally outside of our reality. A symbiotic homeostasis between realities. If you can make If invisibility makes a reality inside coexist visually with the reality outside, there has to be some sort of metamaterial that has an intangible quality that allows an object, a portal, invisible, to also be intangible to that reality, to coexist with that reality physically by being intangible to it. If light is not impeded in an invisible object from the outside world, then I believe there is a counterpart to invisibility, intangibility. And both of these two sides of the coin make up what I believe an imaginary material beyond the metamaterials, smart skins of today. And I further believe that these imaginary materials would be made out of a series of a network of entanglements set up, spread all over a boundary of space, a boundary that holds a patch of reality as the portal. And Leonard Susskind himself alluded to the idea that everything has a boundary, a holographic boundary, where quantum events occur that result in the bulk of that reality. Well, I believe that you can use entanglements as a sort of network to haphazardly tune in with a tunable imaginary material to tune into various realities by adjusting the entanglements, trillions of entanglements. And I'll describe all this in the description to this video. But this is mostly about my idea of an imaginary material to display not only invisibility to our reality, but intangibility as well. And this is the void, the symbiotic homeostasis between the outside reality, space-time, the universal wavelength, the universal wave function, and a patch of reality, which would be the portal. In between is a homeostasis between realities. Well, thanks a lot.